Welcome to The Explainer. You know, every time you click, search, or even just scroll online, you're creating this digital shadow that follows you absolutely everywhere. Today, we're going to drag that shadow right out into the open. We'll break down exactly how you're being tracked, and more importantly, give you the practical steps to protect your privacy.
So let's just get right to it. Do you really have any idea who's watching you online? And look, it's not just about some annoying advertisers. It's about a constant, ongoing collection of your data. Everything from your most private searches all the way to your physical location. Figuring out who's watching and why they're watching, well, that's the very first step to becoming invisible to them.
Now, to make sure we're giving you the absolute best information, this whole explainer is based on a really comprehensive guide from Virtualization Options LLC. They're a Colorado-based technology research and advisory firm. So we're leaning heavily on their expertise here to deliver advice that's both practical and something you can actually use. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the problem, how you're being tracked, and what the real risks are. Then we'll spend the rest of our time on the solutions, moving from easy, quick fixes to some more advanced tools. And finally, we'll talk about the simple habits that really make it all stick. Let's dive in. All right, Section 1, how your browser tracks you. This is really ground zero. It all starts with this invisible trail of data you're leaving behind with every single click. Let's take a look at the main culprits. So the tracker we all know about is the cookie. And some of them are pretty helpful, like remembering your login so you don't have to type it in every time. But the ones we really need to worry about, those are the third-party cookies. Think of them like tiny little spies that don't just stay on one website. Nope, they follow you everywhere you go online, reporting all your browsing habits back to build this detailed profile about you. But what happens when you block those cookies? Well, the trackers just evolve. And this is where device fingerprinting comes in. And man, it is way more clever. It doesn't identify you with a file. Instead, it identifies you by the unique combination of your device's settings, your screen size, the fonts you have installed, your browser version. It creates a fingerprint so unique, they can spot you in a crowd even when you think you're in disguise. And finally, there's your actual physical location. And no, it's not just your phone's GPS. Your laptop's browser can broadcast where you are with some pretty shocking accuracy just by using the Wi-Fi networks around you. So every time a site pops up and asks to know your location, you're making a really crucial decision about who you trust with knowing exactly where you are. So moving on to Section 2, the real-world privacy risks. Okay, fine, they're tracking us. So what? Why does this actually matter? Well, the consequences go way beyond just seeing a creepy ad for something you were just talking about. You have to think of it like a chain reaction of risk. Your data being collected doesn't just lead to weirdly specific ads. That data can be breached, it can be sold, and it can be used for things like identity theft. The profiles that are built on you can even be used to discriminate, maybe affecting the jobs or the loans you see online. And the very systems that track you can be hijacked by hackers to slip you malware or just steal your passwords. Okay, Section 3, easy privacy fixes. All right, enough doom and gloom, let's talk about solutions. And the good news is your first line of defense is already built right into the browser you're using, and you can get it set up in just a few minutes.
This right here might be the single biggest myth in browser privacy. We all use incognito or private mode, right? And we feel like we're invisible. And sure, it does clear your history on your local machine. But here's the reality check. It does absolutely nothing to hide your activity from your internet provider or your boss or the websites you're actually visiting. It's really more like cleaning up your footprints after the party's over, not wearing an invisibility cloak during it.
So here's your 5-minute privacy tune-up. You can do this right now. Number 1, go into your settings and block all third-party cookies. 2, turn off location access by default. 3, flip the switch on Do Not Track. And yeah, not all sites honor it, but it helps. And 4, just get into the habit of clearing your cache and cookies maybe once a week. These 4 simple steps, seriously, they create a massive barrier against all that everyday tracking. And now for Section 4, Advanced Privacy Shields. So you've done the basics. If you're ready to really level up your protection, it's time to bring in some specialized tools. This is how you go from playing defense to playing offense. For most people, the most powerful tool is going to be a VPN. Think of it this way. Without one, your internet provider sees every single site you visit. But with a VPN, all they see is that you're connected to the VPN server. Everything else you do is completely hidden inside a secure, encrypted tunnel. It's basically the digital equivalent of drawing the blinds on your own internet provider. Next up, you can basically hire your own personal security team just by installing a few browser extensions. These are these little add-ons that actively work for you. So one might act like a bodyguard, blocking tracking scripts before they even get a chance to load. Another one might act like a gatekeeper, giving you really precise control over which cookies are allowed in. They are a super powerful automated way to enforce your own privacy rules. Now, for the highest possible level of anonymity, there's the Tor browser. And it is the gold standard for a reason. Instead of one tunnel like a VPN, Tor bounces your traffic through multiple random computers all over the world, which makes it almost impossible to trace back to you. But as the source guide points out, it's not a silver bullet. It anonymizes how you connect, but it can't anonymize what you do, like, say, logging into your personal Facebook account. And that brings us to our last section. Section 5, Smarter Online Habits. Look, we've talked a lot about technology. But the best tools in the world are pretty much useless if you don't have the right mindset. At the end of the day, privacy is about your behavior, not just the tech you use. This is all about building a wall around your digital life. And these are the bricks. A unique, strong password for every single site, and I mean no exceptions. Two-factor authentication as a mandatory second lock on your most important accounts. And just being more mindful of your digital footprint, what you share, the links you click, and where you connect from. Technology is the lock on the door, but these habits, these are the key. The source guide gives this brilliant, super simple gut check for everything you do online, especially on social media. It just says, if you wouldn't want your boss or family member seeing it, then don't post it. That's it. That is the entire rule. What a powerful filter for living in the digital age. So let's just boil it all down. First, privacy isn't just a nice idea. It's essential self-defense in today's world. Second, the power is actually in your hands. The tools and the settings are right there waiting for you to use them. And maybe most importantly, technology can never replace your own awareness. Your caution is your strongest shield. Look, the goal here isn't to make you paranoid. It's to make you powerful. Privacy is a practice. It's a process, not some final destination you arrive at. So I'll leave you with this one question. After everything we've talked about, what is the single first step you are going to take today to start building your fortress?